Time management. We started about 5 minutes after the designated time. Nice to meet you. My name is Michael Kribis. I'll be your presenter for the next 1.5 hour. Because we are doing time management, we are going to see how time passes. So this is a 1 hour hourglass, and we start. Second one is half an hour. Hey, Ezzy. So, what are we going to do today? Today we're going to have, I would say, some kind of like a workshop, a mini workshop. We're going to understand how time works. This is what we're going to do. Hopefully everybody will get a chair and we can start. So, I want to sell you. That's what I got. And I'm going to, does it work? Sorry. Whatever you do, and you're prepared, sometimes it happens. Trust me, guys, I've checked it a few times. All right. So I'm selling boxes. Who's buying? I'm selling time. No, I'm not. I'm not selling time. You cannot buy time. But what we can do is we can play a game today. Hopefully everybody got something to write on. If you don't have something to write on, use a phone, that's okay. But I want to ask you a question. Let's play a game. Yair is going to give you tickets to Miami, free. Each and every one of you. You're going to travel to Miami. Yair is going to pay for that. So I guess that everybody's going to say, but of course. But I have to be at 7 o'clock at the airport. I guess that everybody's going to be busy or going to have a lot of things to do. My guess that you will be able to complete everything until that 7 o'clock, right? I guess that you will work as hard as you can to make sure that nothing is left open in order to make sure that you're on that flight. Am I right? Am I right? You're going to do anything, everything. So there's not going to be any flight. But once you have a goal, something you care, something you want, then you do everything in order to make it happen. So all I'm saying, imagine yourself that each day you are flying to Miami. This is the way to think about time management. Welcome everybody. Please take a seat. Time management. So, just let the people sit. Let's start talking about goals. A few years ago, there was a study of students. They asked students, do they have written goals? Anybody here have any written goals for his life, his business, his career? All right, few people raise their hand. Great. So what they did is they asked those students if they have any goals, and 48% just didn't have any goals, 30% had goals, but only 3% had written goals. I don't know how they wrote it, but they had written goals. 10 years after it, they talked with those students after they started to work. What they find out is that the student who had written goals earned 10 times more than the people who didn't have any written goals. And we're going to discuss, we're going to see why written goals are important and how it's connected to time management. Why it is important to have written goals. So I want to tell you something that happened to me a few years ago. I had a eureka moment. Something happened to me. I was so bad at time management I just couldn't stand myself. I read so many books. I tried so many techniques. Nothing works. One day, I was looking at the TV, wasting my time as usual, and I was seeing a TV program about how air traffic controllers managing incoming flights and outgoing flights. And at that moment, I had like a revelation. That's it. So I started to play. It worked. Each task was a card, like a flight. It comes in. I need to do something about it. I might need to park it, maybe do it, send it away. I got so many things going around in my office, and this is how I started to manage my tasks, like an airport. Well, it sounds funny, but what happened is that after a few months, my boss came to me before I had my own business, and came to me, you know, Michael, I don't know what he did, but you are now time-folds better and faster than anybody else. Well, I said, thank you. I worked 26 years in high tech. Here comes the bonus. But he told me something else. From now on, I'm sending people to your office so you can teach them how to manage their time. I got 4 hours a month. Got so many things going around. People just came to me. Results were really great. So I started to work on something. A book. I decided, okay, I'm going to write a book. So I worked hard for about a year. And eventually, that's what happened. My book came out. It's not for sale. Not yet. Not in Amazon. But this book, which I'm going to teach you about it, I'm going to teach you the essence, the basics of time management. This is like the Bible for me in time management. So I started to work with people. I started to work with people from Germany. People came to my home. So I opened my own business, planning and time management. So what I'm offering you today is a buffet. I'm gonna offer you tools, skills, and techniques so you can manage your own time. Now, why it's a buffet? It's a buffet because when you come to a buffet, you take what you like. Some people like sour, some people like sweets, maybe salty. Same thing. You have to pick from what you're going to learn here what suits you. And one of the most important things which I recommend, don't think in black and white. There's many grays in between. So pick whatever suits you. Everybody was born equal, but everybody has its own needs and taste. So learn. If you have something to write on, I would recommend on your notebook 2 pages. 1 page is for notes, anything that you like. Put it on your plate. I like this idea. Write it down. If you have any questions, on the other page, don't mix them. Because if you want to ask a question, boom, you got 1 page with all the question you want to ask. I will say about 20 minutes after the lecture, I'll answer any question you have. If you hurry, you can pick my business card over there or over here. And of course, I'll be happy to help you later on. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's fly. Who has a written plan for each day? 1, 2, 3. Not bad. Easy. All right. So basically, not many of us has a written plan each day. We just start the day. Let's see what happens. Let's drift. So maybe another question. Who raised before 5:30? 1, 2, maybe 3. Ezzy, maybe you? No.
Not this one.
Yeah.
AM or PM?
Come on. Last question. How many of you are planning lunch? I guess so. Yeah. So these are one of the things that just reflect to you how do you preserve time, how do you see your time. If you get up late, you're missing your day. If you don't have a plan, where are you going? Everybody here has goals. You want to achieve those goals. You want to be happy. You want to have everything you can dream of. The question is, how do you want to be? You want to be the victim, or you want to be the winner? I'm going to teach you today how to be the winner, how to achieve your goals, how to make sure that what you want to achieve will happen in your life. It's not easy. Consistency is one of the key skills you need to learn. Persistence. It's not easy, but you can do it. You can do everything you wish, everything you dream of. But it's not the number of hours you put. It's how you use them. If you work 20 hours a day, doesn't mean that you're productive. So what we're going to do today, we're going to jump ahead and make sure that you can climb this mountain. Alrighty, so anybody know those guys? Probably. At least this one. Is this one maybe? Did they have a time machine in their pocket? Did they had any tool to spend time and do whatever they wanted to do while everybody was like busy?
Maybe in their brains, but not in their pockets.
Maybe. That's nice. That's a nice idea. You guys had or have the same time. Everybody walks with the same clock. It's all matter of how you use your time. That's the secret. Now, you don't have to be the best. You have to be a little bit better than everybody else in order to win the race. Usually horse races are won by a nose. The first horse who crossed the line with his nose wins the race. There's not, it's not a large gap. So you control what comes into your life and what doesn't. You have control what you do. But I got bad news for you. Time flies. The good news, you are the pilot. Everything you do, you decide when and how you do it. Let's play another game. You got money? Take money out of your pockets. Come on, out of your wallets. Take those bills. 1 bill, 2 bill. Come on, it's not a stick up. It's a game. Take 1 bill, 2 bill, put it in your hands. Come on, guys. I'm not gonna stop. If you have credit cards, that's fine. All right, we collect credit cards. Take the money that you have, put it right in front of you. All right? Everybody got money? Have money in their hands? What about the guys at the back? Are you afraid? All righty. 20 shekel. All right. Now throw it in the air. Okay. It was hard, right? Taking money out of your pocket and just throw it away. What about your time? Usually people just take the time and throw it away. They don't measure the time. They don't plan. It was like a game to understand how time works and how you preserve, or how you should preserve time. What are the challenges in time management? Now, very important to understand that before we get into the car and start driving, we have to learn theory. And that's what we are doing now. What's the challenges in time management? Well, you can't grow it, you can't store it, you can't borrow it, you can't create it. It just passes by like a train. Use time. If you use your time correctly, that's fine. If not, bad for you. Challenge number 1 in time management. Many years ago, somebody decided to invent the clock. And then all hell broke loose. Now, when there's time, we have to make things happen until a specific time in a day. And it appears in our smartphones, watches, everywhere. And now there's a due date. Do that until that time. So that's the first challenge. What's the second challenge? Second challenge is focus. In today's techno-centric world, so many devices, so many information coming at us, it's so hard to keep our focus. You know, years ago, there are some people who more or less know what I'm talking about. When we watch TV, we had one channel. Come on, one channel. We have to wait until what we wanted to see will, be aired. If we read the newspaper, it's a newspaper. No pop-ups, no notification, nothing. And it took quite some time for the mail to arrive.
It still does.
What?
It still does.
Yeah. The only device that helped us listen to real-time news, real-time, that was the radio. Until this guy came, 2017. And since then, our life looks like this. Always finding, that's something else. This is sometimes how you feel, right? I mean, you're fighting everything that comes at you. Well, what we didn't understand is that once we took those smartphones and put it inside our life, we just entered a Trojan horse into our space. It's like a black hole sucking up all the time we have. Those devices are meant, designed, and built to take your attention. Why? Because they want you to buy something, they want you to look at something. And this is sometimes what happened at the office. This is how sometimes meeting looks like. Smartphone, #1 reason for car accidents. We go to lunch with friends. This is what happened. Sucking our time. The red thing that you have on your applications, that's one of your time bandits, time robbers. Each time you see this red circle, oh, there's new something in Instagram. Oh, there's new something in Facebook. Let's go inside. And this is how your life looks like. So don't get me wrong, I'm all for technology. I'll show you later on. But it really depends on how you use your technology. Challenge #3. So much information coming at you. So much information. You have to fight another email, another WhatsApp, another message, another phone call. So it's a challenge because in previous year the smartphone was just, making calls or receiving calls. So this is the number of interruption you have to deal with. The year 2000, this is the number of interruption you have today, on average. So there are people here in the audience who have more interruption than that. So what happens is that we evolved, our technology got so much better than what we can manage, so we are being swamped by so many things we cannot handle at once. Challenge #4. I spoke to a few people about that. Procrastination. Yeah, what, do it today, we can do it tomorrow, next week. Call me later, we'll see what happened. Why does it happen? Because sometimes excellence is the enemy of good. We sometimes put attention to the small details. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. Sometimes we are afraid to do the right thing because we are afraid of a failure. And then the due date comes and boom. So let me just give you my first tip for today. This is how, in the software industries, we plan. So you can go this way up until you get the car where the customer is not happy until you get the car. Or you can go this way. Give him something, or maybe to yourself, something small. It works. You can start move on with that. And as you progress, your product, your project, whatever you're doing is getting better. Now this is very important because usually people who don't want to start things, that's because they want to make it the best they can. Did Apple release the best iPhone? No,
Not yet.
they will never do because it's progress each year. Did Samsung ever release the best smartphone? No, it's progress. Next year they'll do a better one. Next year they'll do a better one. Same thing for a project. Start from small, define what are the goals, the basic, the essence of what you want to have, start moving on. I'll give you another example. You want to have a pizza. What do you do if you want to have a pizza? You don't just sit there and, hope that somebody will just knock on your door and ask you, would you like a pizza? No, you make the phone. You pick up the phone and you call. And this is how you start. Of course, you have to plan. But in order to make things happen, you have to start and make the first step. And this is a great challenge for many of you, many of us, because we are afraid from the first step. And this is why we procrastinate. So I'll give you another example. You got a problem at home. You need a plumber. You call the plumber. He never comes. Would you call that plumber again? No. Same thing might happen to you when you fail. You're doing something, you're failing, and then what happened? Oh, I'm not good at that. No, I cannot do that. And then you stop believing in what you can do. Failure is just another step on the path to success. Don't see failure as a failure, it's just a lesson learned until you reach your goal. So don't be afraid of having a failure. Great athlete failed. You know how many times it took Edison to invent the light bulb?
Thousands.
What?
Thousands.
1,000 times.
Invent or improve.
I would say invent, improve.
Did you
But
say
1,000 times he tried, and again and again and again, until he managed to do that. Same thing for you. And another question. How many of you need more time? I'm selling time. 1, 2, yeah, I guess so. You need more time, really? You really need more time? Come on, guys. Are you kidding me? With all those technological improvements we have today, cars, elevators, look around you, electricity. You go to the supermarket, you buy food. You don't have to hunt food. You press a button, AliExpress sends you something. You go to eBay, you buy something. You press a button, pizza arrived. You need more time? Really? So, you think this is sci-fi? Right? No. 2,000 shekels, you get a small R2D2 that cleans your house. So don't tell me you need more time. Remember the 3 guys? They had the same time as you? And they did great things. So, you don't need to escape, run, hunt, survive, or create your own home. We are today living in a time poverty world. We are surviving in our own time, always surviving. So, girls, if you want to sit, there are 3 chairs over here if you want to sit. So what are the solutions? Well, today, I want you to be like Neo. You know who's Neo from the Matrix? I want you to be this guy. Anything that comes at you, you'll control. Nothing touches you. Nothing knocks you down. So, how do you become Neo? Control your own time. I got some ideas. Let's add another hour a day. Let's sign a petition. Go to the streets. Come on, add another hour, right? Well, not exactly. Parkinson law. Very simple. Doesn't matter how much time you have, doesn't matter how much money you have, you will always have something to fill it with something. So this will not work. What about doing many things at the same time? You know, multitasking. Everybody can do that, right? Wrong. The cost of multitasking is so high. Nobody, almost nobody actually, can multitask. There are few people on this planet, 3%, who can multitask. Combat pilots. Any combat pilots over here? Thank you. So multitasking probably is out of the question. So for those who still think they can multitask, I want to play a game. Have something to write on, or maybe you remember? Let's go. I want you to listen. There's going to be a few questions after that movie.
In the summer of 2015, I finally got my driver's license. I was so excited that I'd earned the freedom to go wherever I wanted. My mum congratulated me on the hard work and surprised me with my favourite ice cream cake. As I took my first bite of the chocolate crunches, my mum told me that any time I wanted to borrow her minivan, all I had to do was fill out a 5-page request form that had over 30 questions on it. I'm so glad my mum treats me like an adult now.
All right. So let's see how much you remember with multitasking. I know the answers. So, what was the color of George's hat?
Green.
Green. Not bad. We got pilots over here. All righty. That's the first time. Next question. What was the girl rewarded by getting her license?
Ice cream.
Chocolate cake, right. Last question. We got more questions. What was the season? Yeah. Summer. What did she had for lunch?
Trout.
Good. So as you can see, not many of us can multitask. That was a simple. There's another question. What was the hat? Sorry, what? That's right. Sorry, I didn't press the button. All right, sorry. So multitasking is not, the best solution. I got another solution out of my sleeve. Let's walk fast, as much as we can. But sometimes when we're walking fast, we're not doing the right things. We don't do them at the quality that they deserve to be done. So there's a lot of research. If you're doing too many things, or doing things too much, too fast, they won't be done as you want. So what do we do? What's the secret? That's the slide you've all been waiting for. This is you, more or less. And you got so many things you want to do, like Steve Jobs. What's the secret? Secret is priority. That's the secret. What comes into your space, what you decide to do, and when you decide to do it. That's the secret. That's the essence, the core of time management. If you know how to do that, you can maybe build the next iPhone, next Samsung, next car. But there's one more trick. You have to decide what to put aside, what's not important. This is time management. That's it. We're done. No. But let's learn. Let's take an example of how you can manage your time much better. You're traveling abroad. You got one suitcase, right? What do you take? What do you take?
The essentials.
Essentials, exactly. What you need for that trip. You don't take the entire home, right? You don't take the TV. You don't take the entire living room. Not the dog. You put in your suitcase what you need for that trip.
And
So-
the toilet.
Sometime.
Kim Jong-un.
I know, oh yeah, exactly. So what I think is that if you manage to think at each day or your entire life as a trip, and you'll decide what comes into your life, what should be done today, what should be done tomorrow, you'll be able to manage your time. Imagine yourself that each day is a trip. And you have to decide what to do today, what's essential for today, what gives you more value. Now there's a very funny movie I want you to watch. Decision, consistency. Anybody's been there?
Everybody's down there. It's the same.
Exactly. Oh gosh, he's gone. No. Decision making. Plan. Gone. All right. That was funny.
When you arrive to Israel, it's like on the border.
This is Israel. Welcome to Israel, guys. So, let's start from the basics. The basic started, I wouldn't say millions of years ago, but a lot of years ago, when we started to paint in caves. How do you manage your notes? Paper. Anybody's doing that? Smartphone, laptop?
Everything.
Laptop? All right.
Read the paper.
Many years ago, we have invented writing. And why we have invented writing? Because our mind is not able to keep too many things in our head. Now write it down. Don't keep things in your head. Your mind usually can have about maybe 5, maybe 6 ideas once, but not more. Not more than those 6 ideas. So the first tool in order to manage your time is make sure that you have a written plan for the day. Don't keep it in your head. Write it down on paper, usually. Why? There was a research done 2 years ago. Why not doing, or not, why not writing on digital devices? They took 2 classes. One class had laptops, and this is how they wrote their notes. The other one just used pen and paper. You know what happened?
Pen and paper did better.
Pen and paper did better.
Why?
Well, why? Because once you start to write, and I'll show you in a few minutes, your brain works better because of the cognitive thinking you have to do. These were the results between the students who typed during those lessons and the students who wrote on paper. This is your brain activity. Pen and paper wins all the time. So if you want to take notes during a meeting, we got like any plan. Write it with pen and paper. So probably some of you guys, usually the young ones, come on, dude. Everything works on batteries today. You know, everything is on screens. Nobody uses paper. You're old, you're 47 now. Come on, you're dead already. Well, the wheel is invented thousands of years ago. Still the wheel, the car, is the best transport available to us. They invented jet. Still we use cars. Now, if you think, I'm anti-technology, don't get me wrong. I got so many gadgets at home, this is part of them. Everything that blips, have lights, I have it. I'm the first one to have it, trust me. I love gadgets. But, paper notebook, which will appear in a few seconds here, is my #1 tool to manage. And later on, if you want, I got a sample of my notebook, one of my notebooks that I use. You can just flip and see. Think on paper. Paper is the ultimate tool to think. You don't have to learn how it works. There's no functions, there's no batteries. You can do everything on paper. Your mind is free on paper. If you start thinking in Excel, you start thinking in blocks and columns. But this is not how the human minds work. Now, if you want to go digital, that's fine. Like trying to find a way, maybe with an electronic pen, to use your hand and your fingers. It's very important because if you think inside a computer, you have frames and rules. So you are framing or thinking in blocks or in terms that other people put in that software. You are limited by what the software gives you. So paper is the ultimate tool. Later on, you can go and start planning on a computer. But the initial planning and thinking should start with a notebook. And this is exactly what I did. Visual pathway, that's my method. I've researched, learned, and talked with so many people, and I've managed to understand how can we manage our tasks, goals, and plans. From these guys. Well, not from Coke, but from advertising. Coke, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Coke, McDonald's, Pizza Hut. Every time you walk on the street, you see those ads. What happened eventually? You buy them. Because you see them all the time. You are being engaged with advertising. And this is exactly what Visual Pathway is. The method that I use, I'm expressing my thoughts outside of my mind. And I'll show you a few examples. Never keep things in your head unless you have to. Write things, plan on paper, on lists, put things on wall. I'll show you in a second. So in order to maybe invent the first iPhone or the second iPhone or the third iPhone or whatever, all you need is a notebook and a pen. Maybe some markers and your smartphone. So the first pillar you have to learn is collect. You have to learn how to collect stuff, ideas, tasks, due dates, everything. Collect them and put them somewhere. So you can later on process and decide what to do with them. Because if you keep them on your mind, it's like a monkey that sits on your shoulder and, just always reminding you, what about that? What about that? Don't forget about that. And this one, oh yeah, I have to do this one. Don't forget tomorrow that. How do you get rid of the monkey? You give him a banana. By writing whatever you have in your mind on paper, send yourself an email, a voice message, whatever works for you. But, we are creators. We are problem solvers. We are not storage. We can't store too many things in our head. All right. So, what happened after that you're writing in your notebook or whatever? After a while, maybe a day, maybe two, you have to review them. You're collecting ideas, stuff, things. After each day, usually what I'm doing, at the end of each day, I'm reviewing all my notes and I'm deciding what to do with those ideas. Some of them I just throw away, not important. Some of them I delay because I cannot do them now or they are less important. So let's do a small exercise. You got 1 minute, take a piece of paper and do something which I call brain dump. Everything that you have in your head, if you have something to write with, you can use a smartphone now if you want, just write it down. 1 minute, all the ideas, all the things, all your commitments, due date, things that you promise to people, go. 1 minute. Empty your head. Clock is counting. What happens now is that you are emptying your head to have creative thinking. Everything. Meaning that you want to set. Business goals, personal goals, things you want to buy, things you don't want to buy, places you want to visit. You are now leaving more brain power for creative and for planning. 20 minutes, 20 seconds, move fast. I'm not going to collect those papers, trust me. You can write everything. But what you are doing now is the process of planning. By emptying your head, you got a vision, you got a list of what you want to achieve. You want to be a pilot, you want to be an astronaut, you want to buy a house? Alrighty, time's up. Now, what happened is, while you have this list, you can plan. You can't plan in your head. Nothing can be planned in your head. Now, in order to have a plan, you have to set a goal. If you're planning in your head, it's get mixed. You have to have a target. The list that you've just wrote could be the steps or your goals or your small goals in life that you want to achieve. And you have to plan, think how to achieve them. Everything starts with a plan. What happens if you don't plan? Might happen. I didn't plan, oh gosh. Or you'll be just drifting in the sea. Whatever, will go, you'll go. I don't know where you go, but you might find yourself like that, with this one.
That's another problem with paper. That will not happen on digital.
But again, in digital, if you'll do it, if you don't plan ahead, things will happen. I'll tell you a story, how to think of planning. Why planning? I don't have time to plan. Come on, I need to do stuff. I'm busy. I can't plan. Let's just imagine that you are standing at the edge of the forest. And at the other end of the forest is your goal. Your new business. Your new home, car, trip. A lot of money. A lot of whatever you want. Now, if you start walking inside this forest, there's many ways. Maybe we'll go here now, we'll start walking, see what happened. Oh, I can't cross here, I'm going back, Oh, there's a swamp, we can't cross here. Oh, there's a river. Oh, where's the bridge? Oh, the bridge is broken. We have to build a bridge. Oh, I didn't bring an axe. Oh, gosh. But, if in that forest, there will be a road, wouldn't that be easier to get into the flag? That's the plan. The road inside the forest. If you build a road, if you plan ahead, it's easy to get to the flag. You might get distracted, but eventually you can always go back to your road and reach for the flag. Each plan has to have a finish line. How do you know if you made it? If you don't have a finish line, What's the finish line? It really depends. You want to buy a house? What's the finish line? I have a house, 4 rooms, 5 rooms. What's the finish line for a car? I got a car. What's the finish line for a business? There's many finish lines for a business. First million, second million, third million. These are the finish lines. Well, I have a saying. The shortest route from start to finish goes through a plan. Everything has to start from a plan. I got a question. How many of you wanna take a picture?
Yes.
There you go. Coming up. Boom. All right. Who's doing a grocery list each time he's going to the supermarket? All right. I expected more people to have a grocery list. Come on, guys, you're just going into the supermarket and see what happened, you know. We'll buy. You know. Well, grocery list is a plan. It's like a checklist. What do you want to achieve in that specific supermarket? The difference between the people who have a grocery list and who doesn't have might look like this. Guess who doesn't have a grocery list?
The guy on the right.
The guy on the right? Well,
It's right. If,
this one.
if you have a grocery list, you buy more.
I don't
Because you're
know.
looking for your list and you're going around the supermarket and you buy more. Here, if you don't have a list, you forget a lot of things.
Maybe interesting, but how many of you are sorting your grocery list?
How many of us are
What? Sorting your grocery list by departments. 1, 2, 3. I'm also doing that. By the way, my grocery list is on my watch, so I'm not technophobic. Okay? It's very easy. Just take your watch. See the list, check it, continue. So each one of you know how to plan. Most of you, I mean, come on, creating grocery list, that's simple. How do you make a plan? Like a grocery list, you start with the big stones, with the major goals, with the things, the most important things you want to achieve. And again, on paper. How do you do that? You just take a piece of paper that you have at home, you write goals, and you start writing them, one after the other. The big ones, not I want to go to a movie. Like the big ones, I want to finish my school. I want to buy a car. I want to open a business. I want to make my first million. Then you start to prioritize. Well, there are many methods to prioritize tasks. I'll give you my method, which is quite simple. Must, should, maybe. That's how I think.
You must land on Mars.
What?
You must land on Mars.
Yeah, it's important.
So a must have to be done. Otherwise, bad things will happen, or I'll miss the deadline, or things will happen to my business. A must is a must. You start dealing with the must. A should is a should. Okay, I should do that. But maybe it's not important. So what I do when I'm planning those tasks, I'm using colors. Choose whatever colors that suits you. Again, that's the buffet. But I'm choosing usually the colors that suits importance. Like red, that's a must. A blue, that's a maybe. And this is how it looks like. You take your goals and you put it front and center in your office, your living room, whatever you see each day. Each time, what? This is in my office. This is where my computer, I'll show you in a minute. And each time I'm walking into my office, boom, my goals appear right in front of me. Why? Advertising. I'm selling the goals to myself. You remember? McDonald's, pizza, McDonald's, pizza. Okay, I'll buy. So each time you see your goals right in front of you, You're going to be focused on your goals. They are going to remind you what you want to do with your life. By the way, I already got 2 V's over there. Can't show you that. Millions of dollars. You can do it with sticky notes on your notebook, but have them written. Think outside of your mind. You can think with sticky notes, with ideas, sort them out. It's a simple tool you can use. This is how I decided to call Visual Pathway, and this is my task plan for the book. Again, on my whiteboard, very simple. Each time I completed the task, boom, out of the board. Sometimes you have to go on digital. And again, print it out, put it right in front of you. Nothing stays in your mind. You are creators, thinkers, problem solvers. You are not thumb drives. Most of us.
Can I ask a quick question?
I'll promise to answer any question you have afterward.
Only if it will be available, or I need to take pictures of every. Will it be available?
Well, it's quite a big presentation. Let's talk after it. Okay? So, daily planning. That's a simple thing to do, right? Just like a piece of paper, start writing everything you want to do today. Don't start your day until you finish it off. Make sure that you know where are you going. Make a plan. 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Write on paper what you want to achieve today. What's the plan? Like a Waze. I mean, before you drive, you put Waze, right? Or if you're using traffic, there's like a Move It or something. It's planning. Same stuff here. Well, I'm using a template on paper I call the activity sheet. By the way, if you have registered to the event, you got an email with a link to my website where you can download a very quick guide about, I think, 24 pages of time management. So go register, get it. So how build my day? I start with today's goal. What will make my day a successful day? I'll finish that project. I'll finish that document. I'll deliver that. I'll do this. One thing that if you go out of your office or your business by the end of the day, you'll say, made it. One thing. Then comes the second part, or the clear your mind. You know, every one of us have small things that's running inside. I have to do this and this fax and this email, just answer this one. Maybe, So I got a page, on that page, a section called Clear Your Mind. Each one of those tasks takes no more than 3 minutes, 2 minutes. It's quick, doesn't require any thinking, but it's just, releasing the jams or releasing the things that are holding you back. 45 minutes a day, that's what I'm doing. Releasing all the things that people need from me. Just answer an email, set a meeting, 2 minutes, come on, let's do it. After that, I'm going into the high-value tasks. By the way, I'm filling up this paper before I'm starting. I'm planning ahead, thinking, 30 minutes. What I want to do today, and I'll just fill up this paper. So the high-value task should serve the daily goal. You want to finish that plan, you want to finish that project, finish that document, what do you need to do? Download this one, plan this one, copy this one, call this one. It doesn't have to be all those tasks doesn't have to serve the main goal, but most of those tasks should serve the main goal. You can have more tasks here, but these are the main goals for today. And what happened in between? You know, I got 7 minutes before an appointment, you know, 10 minutes before somebody comes in. So, this is your brainless tasks. Things in between, small stuff. Maybe you're exhausted after lunch. You don't have the energy to do something. Boom, you got a list of things you can do that you don't have to think or process. So every time you're waiting on the phone for somebody, or somebody should come in, you got a few minutes, boom, you got a list. And this is how I build my day, each day. There's no day in my life since I've developed that method which I'm not planning.
Do you still ever watch TV?
No, I don't watch TV.
Do you Facebook?
No, I'm just advertising on Facebook.
The worst.
I don't use Instagram. I don't have Instagram. You know, maybe they do it automatically. No, I'm not there. You know why? Because I don't care. It's a waste of time. I mean, I do go to the movies sometime. That's fine, but come on. Maybe, you know, watching the news if something important comes. But no.
Any leisure activities at all?
Yeah, sure. I got many.
Do
How do
you
you
put them
fit
in
them
your
in the
plan?
list?
What?
How do you fit them in?
Usually they are the weekends, so it's not a problem. And this is how it looks like. Colors. Use colors to prioritize your tasks. And of course, if you want to go on screens, you can do that. That's fine. That's okay. If it works for you. So, daily planning. Sounds hard? 30 minutes a day, just sit down on a piece of paper, decide what you want to do. Quite easy, right? I bet that if you do that, you're going to call me 2 weeks after and say, wow, that's amazing.
Do you have this page on your website?
Yeah,
Where
if you
can send-
download the PDF, you got it there. Yeah.
Can you write what is the website?
My website is on the business cards that you have.
Okay, good.
And I think that Yair sent an email to everybody with a link to a specific landing page that I have.
I didn't see.
Last question.
Your time frame is daily, or you can make a weekly and then you break it in daily?
Great question. Now, after we plan the day, what about planning the week? Now, this is something very hard to do. Everybody's busy. But it's like looking into the horizon. The price is great. If you manage to plan ahead your week, you're going to be the superhero of your office or your business. Planning a week ahead. It's not easy. You need time. And this is how I plan my week. Take the pages. The end of the week, after Shabbat, put them in one row. I'm starting planning. I want to do this one in this date, this one in that date. That date, yeah. Maybe I'll move it. Okay, I'll cross it, copy it to the next page. And eventually, what I do, I'm looking at my calendar, subtracting all the meetings and traveling I have, and writing the number of half an hours I got each day. What do you get? You get like a picture of where you can do more or less. So here, I had about 5 hours, and then I can plan. Oh, I don't have much time on Thursday. Maybe I'll do it in another week, another day. So eventually, this is what I got. Each day is planned. Now it's not an easy task. You know, I'll be honest. I'm not able to do it each week. But when I manage to do that, I feel like Superman. Because if you don't plan, you react. When you react, you don't have time to think. If you plan, you can expect. And if you're expecting,
You're
you can
receiving.
exactly, and you can plan ahead. There's another method which I like to plan the week ahead. A simpler method. This template. what I do per each day in the week, I'm planning small goals, very small ones. Again, you can find it in the PDF, and this is how it looks like. On paper, with my own handwriting. So each time I'm taking my gaze out of the computer, boom! I know exactly what I want to do, what I want to achieve each day. Make sense? What about this one? Planning the month. Now that's a challenge. Planning the month. Well, guys, if you'll be able to plan the month, you're going to be an oracle. Trust me, I've done it a few times. The prize is so big planning the month ahead. And this is how I do it. A simple board with pins. And these are my goals. By the way, this is you. Yair at Google. We are here. What are those lines? This is the time I'm planning of preparation. Sorry. I think I put it on mute. I did. Oh, that's my son. That's okay. So what are those lines?
Red carpet.
No. These lines represent the time I need to prepare. Exactly. So each day, I'm, like crossing or filling up another day on, whoa, I got something to do here. I need to prepare ahead. I got another presentation here, another one here. I need to weigh 80 kilograms by this date. Hopefully I can do it. I have a picture, a very big picture, an overview picture of what are my goals and deadlines. And this is, again, right in front of me. Each time I'm going into my office, boom, what has to be done today? What's coming at me? You can never surprise me, even in a dark alley. So if you want to go digital, you can do it like this. I do it also. Each line, each bar is a project. And if you do that on your calendar, you can go into Outlook or Google Calendar or whatever. You can have like a whole day event from start to finish. And what happens is that once you take a look at your calendar and you see, oh boy, I'm busy here. See here how many things I need to do. So you can say, stop, I'm not doing new stuff that week. That's planning. Not taking new obligation where you cannot make it on time. You cannot do it in your head. You just won't be able to do it. So if you want to do it in digital, this is the way. And this is how it looks like. We'll talk about this one later on. This is my computer, and this is my calendar. Of course, you can print it out. Really depends on what you like. So I told you I like gadgets. That's gadgets. So how do you decide what to do before what? I mean, come on, priority. Everything is important, right? I want to do everything. So there are a few questions you can learn. Write them down if you want to learn how to prioritize. Now, first question. It's not important. Trust me, guys, you know if that's important. Inside of your mind, you know if you're doing something important. Facebook is not important. Watching TV, Netflix is not important. It depends on your goals. If your goal is to see The Walking Dead through the whole weekend, yeah, TV and Netflix, yeah, that's your goal. It's important. Next question. Will that yield any results? If I'm doing something now, will I have any value out of that action? No. Playing Xbox? Probably not. Watching funny movies on WhatsApp? Probably not. Third question. Does it have a due date? Did I promise something to somebody, or maybe to myself? And then I can decide if I need to do it now. You remember those lines? Then you can decide. You got a line, you got a due date. I need a week. Boom, cross a line. 1 week backwards. You know exactly when you need to start to work on something. Next question. Am I putting off fires? If I'll not do that, will my business collapse? Any critical damage will happen to my business, career, goal, my life? Is it serving the goals that you have on your wall? And the last thing, will it save me time? So have those questions always available until you learn them by heart. And this is how you decide on priority. This is how you do it. This is how I do it. Because if somebody comes into my life and say, can you do this one? Can we have this presentation? Wait a second, let's see what's going around me. Let's see what are my due dates. What's the business value out of it? And then I can decide. So how do you execute? I mean, planning, come on. Where do you walk? Well, you know, there was a saying by Lincoln.
No time to execute.
Yeah.
I planned all day.
Lincoln said, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would use 6 of them to sharpen the axe. Exactly the same. If you plan, execution is faster. Very simple, because if you don't plan, you start to walk, then things happen. And what happened? You're wasting time on solving problems. And this is exactly when you feel that you're wasting time, when you're encountering something you haven't foreseen, and then you don't know what to do. So, this guy, everybody knows this guy. Yeah. We can't multitask, right? You have to plan. Now, I'm going to show you something real. 2009, a plane missed his deadline. What? Plane missed the target? Passenger plane because they took their laptops in the cockpit, playing ping pong or whatever? Even pilots sometimes cannot multitask. Focus. Plan, keep on track, ignore the small stuff, ignore notifications. You can't do everything. Nobody can do everything. Trust me, I know. You have to pick what's important. Everybody knows this story? The big stones, the small stones, yeah, an old story. Well, I got a better one. Pick the ones that have value. Pick the stones who have return of value to you. Pick the big stone, and out of those big stones, pick the diamonds. Everybody got big stones. Everybody wants to do a lot of stuff. So think what value for your life, career, or business will that action or goal or project yield back to you? Now, because we today are living in a technocentric world with many interruptions, many people comes in and out, in big companies, customers comes in and out. Decide when to stop. Like Neil, stop. Define protected time blocks. By the way, is it too hot for you? If you need oxygen, we can deal with the maybe the lights or maybe with the air conditioning. What?
The lights in the air.
So, Ezzy, can you help me with the lights? And
It's too dark.
yeah. Can you see the screen?
It's too light.
Huh? All right. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, define protected time blocks. Decide that everything around you go silent for a specific period of time. 45 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you can manage. I cannot sit on my chair for more than 30 minutes. I have to walk. I have to, I got kotzim in my ass. So it really depends on you, how much time you can sit, concentrate, and do whatever you want to do. So put your smartphone on silent and walk. Ignore the noise around you. Nothing is important more than what you want to do while you do it. But you know, as you do it, there's like, you know, stuff you want to do. Well, I just want to make a small phone call. I just want to send that email. Or, you know, so what I do, I take a small sticky note, I put it on my laptop, and each time that something comes into my mind, which is small, I write it down. When my session has ended, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, boom, I'm dealing with all the interruptions. I got a phone call from an unimportant customer, maybe, I don't know who that is. So all the people, all the interruption that came at you, now you can deal with them. This is how you become disciplined. You decided that you're doing a task, you're running a document, a walk, an email. This is what you do for 45 minutes, 30 minutes. You can have as many tasks in those 30 minutes or 45 minutes. But nothing interrupts you. But come on, you know how the world works, you know. So, what I defined are the circle of importance. As you walk in your session, in your cycle, somebody calls you. Trust me, my son is at home, he doesn't need me now. He's playing his Xbox. So, circle number one is the most important circle. People or things inside your circle of important number one can interrupt you anytime. Family, friends, spouse, parents. Every time I get a phone call from one of those people, boom, I stop. Maybe an important customer. A hot opportunity. That could be circle of importance number one. Maybe your boss. Circle of importance number one. All other people all around you, depends on what you do, will not interrupt you. Now, you have to understand or learn how to say no. We can't do everything now, but it's a technique. How to say no politely. By the way, half an hour left. Circle number two, other things. People I work with, we have queries, friends. Circle number three, never get there. Hey, look at that monkey jumping from tree to tree on WhatsApp. Oh, how funny. Browsing Facebook, Instagram, you know. Whatever you decide. Now this is me, I'm telling you how I do it. You have to decide what's important for you. That's execution. You have the plan, you start the timer, 45 minutes, boom, you start doing the task in order of priority.
So what happens if somebody from Circle 1 sends you a monkey jumping on Facebook?
Interesting.
Because it's number one, but it's nonsense.
Well,
Happens very common. Happens a
so
lot.
maybe it's not circle number one.
That could get you in trouble.
Well,
The same friend happens to be a boss in specific projects. It's very complicated.
yeah. Well, that's life. That's life.
Just tell them you don't have time for it.
Let's move on. You know, I can't solve everybody's problem here, but you know, these are the guidelines. How do you follow up? I mean, you send so many emails, so many WhatsApp, so many messages, you make so many phone calls. How do you make sure that you're being answered on time? Like a boomerang. You throw something, you want to make sure it's coming back at you on the right moment or before the deadlines. You know, this is what happened when you don't follow up. Oh gosh, it's tomorrow. I didn't get the document. Presentation is not ready. He should have sent me data. I've sent it that email 2 weeks ago. It's not my fault. Yes, it is. How do you follow up? Each task that you delegate or ask for somebody has to have a due date. If you don't feel comfortable to ask for a due date, have it within yourself, within your system. Just remember, a task or a wish, a task without a due date is a wish. I'm not sure your wish will be granted. But if it's a due date, if it has a due date, it's a plan. So what I do, usually I put in my calendar or my email system, I'll show you later on, like a reminder. I've sent somebody to something, I've sent something to somebody, and he should bring me some numbers to put in my presentation. The presentation is next week. Due date, a few days before. Just making sure that I got the numbers. What happens if you don't get an answer by email? What do you do, guys?
Resend.
Resend the email, great. Call, a phone call. Have you ever been engaged or involved in a long-tail emails?
Yes,
You know, in high-tech companies, sometimes it takes hundreds of emails going back and forth until something happens.
people like wasting. People like wasting time.
Yeah, why should I call? Come on. Make the phone call. Pick up the phone, it's faster.
The only problem is that in Israel,
Yeah.
They ask you to fax or send a dove.
most of the time in Israel, you're on people's fifth circle, and there's no importance, and you get ignored, and you can spend a lot of phone calls and a lot of humiliation, and all that does is sort of downgrade you. And it's I mean, I'm an American, obviously, but the difference in mentality in
Totally different.
in
Yeah.
hierarchy and priority is a little bit
Yeah.
bizarre.
You have to grow
Yeah.
tough skin.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I
life.
do?
But I've done, I mean, I was in a situation where I asked somebody something for a very important piece of information, and
Yeah.
it took 2 months. And
Oh,
because
gosh.
of that, it was, and I was dealing with the producers, the directors, it was horrible. But, you know, they just kept putting it off.
Yeah. That's, you know,
That's
procrastination.
not normal.
Yeah. So, look. My guess that after that presentation, your mind is going to start working. Okay, how should I do that, you know? Eventually, each one of you, if you know, be persistent with yourself, you get to the maximum, and then the next maximum, and then the next maximum you can achieve. Slowly but surely, you'll be able to manage your time. Consistency and persistence. Again. So, follow-ups. You made a phone call. Can you get me that number or that information by next week? Sure, okay, boom. Would you get it? No. Yeah, no. What do? Go to the calendar. Put a reminder a few days before. Boom, I should get this one. Each day you wake up, you look at your calendar. What should I get? Due date of what? So, the other pillar is review in time management. So, sometimes you need to stop, look at the big plan and see how it goes. Now you have to understand that no plan ever survived the first day of engagement. No plan. From the minute you've started to walk according to your plan, boom, nothing works. It's planned. What's the secret? The secret is to be able to adopt the plan to what happens around you. This is what they teach you in the army. This is how it works. Adapting all the time. That's it. That's review. Very simple. So stop each week, think, look at your goals, look at your plans, look at what's around you. Everything is around you. You're visualizing your plan and see, I'm on track? I'm doing the right thing? If not, fix. It's okay. I'm fixing my program, my plans every week, every month. That's okay. Last pillar of time management. Organization. Yes. You know, it surprised me to work with people who doesn't have time to put things in order, but they have all the time to look for the things that they can't find. Amazing. I don't have time to sort this drawer. Oh, where's the pencil? Disorganization creates tension, and this is exactly what happens if you don't get organized. This is exactly the moment you think that time is being wasted. So, this is not my office, obviously. Might be your office, or maybe someone else's office. This is not the way to work. Your fridge is not an office. It might be served if you have reminders of things, you know, important things, but it's not an office. You know, my mom's fridges look like, you know, like, I don't know, like a library things. Don't do that. Put maybe important things. You know, it's so frustrating to look for something you just can't find. That's a waste of time. Sorting your document, that's not a waste of time. But wasting 10 minutes to find something, that's a waste of time. So, how do you do that? Very simple. You know, just create folders of archive. All the things that you don't need on a day-to-day basis, just write it there by project, topics, whatever. Then you got information. It's not a project specific, but it's references. Information that you need to access. Maybe your, I don't know, copy of your ID that sometimes you need to send to somebody. Driving license copy. Sometimes you have to send it. Business documents. And then you got your project. So simple. Technology. Right click, new folder, drag the files. You know. But sometimes I see people desktop look like, wow. And then they can't find the file that they're looking for because there's so many files with the background of whatever they're putting on, nothing sticks out.
It took planning to the extreme.
Yeah. Well, really depends. So, you know, if I'll come back home, you know, I got a bag with all the stuff here. I don't have time to, or, you know, put them in place. So what I do, I got one place in my room, in my office, where I put all the things which I cannot handle now. One place to put all the things I don't want to organize now. So if you're looking for something, you can find it. It's there. If not, it should be in its place. Like a collector of things you can't organize now. Not my car keys, not my wallet, but you know, maybe the bag, projector, you know, whatever. Just put it there. One place. In one inbox. Come on guys, you don't need pile of papers all around the house. One place to put all the letters, documents that haven't been sorted out yet. And this is how it looks like in my office.
Of course it does.
This is the, this is why I keep my office.
What is your wife like?
She's the best thing that
Is
happens
she
to me.
Is she as OCD as this? This is
I'm not OCD.
Oh,
come on.
But it's amazing. No, I call it a word.
I agree.
About the OCD or my wife?
For your children, oh my God.
You are becoming Israeli.
I grew up like this, so it's okay. Yeah.
If it's not too personal, may I ask something about your wife?
I don't know.
Let me
Can we-
ask, you don't have to answer. Does she organize her flat surfaces?
Huh?
Flat surfaces, tables, shelves, top of the...
No. No, I do it. So, do you have enough energy for a few more tips? Yeah? Alrighty.
Yeah.
move on. Tip number 1, calendar is for date-specific events only, not to-dos. Date-specific events. If something needs to happen on a specific date, like a due date, a meeting, or whatever, this is where it goes to the calendar. You don't have to do it in a paper calendar. I'm using my own calendar. But this is what goes into your calendar, if it works for you. I don't put tasks. Task goes on paper. Emails. Come on, we got so many emails these days. You know, sometimes I think that people think of email like a casino. Hey, let's open the email, see what happens. Maybe there's something, you know, have valuable inside there. Don't start your day with your email. Start with thinking. Then go to your email, see what's important, and plan what to do. So email is important, WhatsApp is important. You know, like customers write me using email, but this is not how I'll start my day. I'll show you in a minute how I'll start my day. And remember the circle of importance? You can create rules inside your email app or whatever. Cycle number 1, cycle number 2, cycle number 3. So how I'll start viewing my emails? Cycle number 1. Customers, cycle number 1. My boss, cycle number 1. Funny stuff, ha ha ha. Cycle number 3. Or maybe delete it. See how many...
Can you put right back?
A what? Ah, yeah,
Okay.
sure, sorry.
No,
That's a casino. That's the one. So if you're using Outlook, you can do smart searches, you can do tags in Google Mail, there's many techniques, find what's best fits you. So you know how many mails are being deleted automatically? 4,000 and something. This is, I think, maybe a month ago. You know, sometimes even though you've unsubscribed, would you like to buy this one? How about this one? So I got some few rules in my Outlook that says, if it says buy, special offer, whatever, delete it. I don't care. And this is how much time I've saved by just auto-deleting those emails. I don't have the time to auto-delete it, but you have time to just look for the important email in this 310,000 inbox of yours. Right? Planning ahead. Now, if there's something you're not sure what to do with that, just create a folder called Someday, drag it there. If it's not important, usually you won't go back there. We'll have more important stuff. So, is that offer important? Yeah, okay, drag it. You'll save a lot of money by not opening those special offers. Now, this is something very important. Mail versus WhatsApp. How do you follow up? In mail, it's very simple. Just write an email and then you can select a flag for following up. The reminders will just pop up in a pop-up reminding you, oh, that's the email with the due date. Have you received that information? Oh gosh, no, phone call. But what do you do with WhatsApp? You send somebody, can you please send me that? Can you give me that number? Will you be able to do? And you forget all about it. Next day, oh gosh! So, very simple. In WhatsApp, you can mark a message with a star. You just press long, and then you can get a menu, and you can star it, like a favorite. All the messages which you have starred goes into one place. At the bottom of WhatsApp, you got a gear wheel. Press that gear wheel. You got then starred messages. Boom, all the starred messages appear.
Where is the star?
In the menu. I'll show you later on, I promise. So I start my day by looking on all the starred messages. Everything got completed? I got all the information? And regarding emails, please, I want to introduce you to the delete key. Many people, maybe I'll go back to that, yeah, I'll look that, maybe next week. And then I got 1,000 email inbox. You can't find anything. Just delete that stuff. Just write into Sunday. All right. Very important thing. Checklists. I love checklists. I've been working with the Air Force for quite some time. The checklists are the number one thing they work with. Checklists are everywhere. High-tech, grocery shopping, astronauts, workshops. Checklist is like a checklist that making sure that you did everything right or according to plan. I got checklists. These are the checklists I got. Each time I'm rising up in the morning, brush my teeth, making coffee, boom! What should I do? Water to the dog, trash can, yeah, I'm doing that, and so on. Simple checklist. And I want to promise you something. If you got a checklist for something that is recurring all the time, again, you're going to do it in half the time. I swear to God. Really. A checklist for the morning, checklist or whatever, is recurring in your life will save you so much time because it keeps you on track and focus. Yes?
So would you say that most of this weekly, daily planning, monthly planning is kind of based on the Agile school of thought? You just kind of maybe brought it to its basics a bit more?
I'm not sure it's Agile. I'm using a Kanban.
Okay.
I won't go into detail what is a Kanban. Kanban is a great tool,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure it's Agile. I would
Just
say
with having like the, not that you're using a sprint, but it's kind of like having those, weekly successes.
sessions. Maybe,
It makes
yeah,
you feel
maybe
it's-
it might. I haven't thought about that.
Mhm.
Now, if you have something that you have to do, if there's something you have to do each day, have it pre-printed on your daily activity sheet. I got a business, I have to review my CRM. What about my customers? Am I on track? There's many examples of checklists, I'm sure you can make it up. The first or the most important checklist is what happened when you start your day at the office. These are my checklists for the monthly planning and weekly planning. Remember the planning we had? What about memory? We can't store too much in our brain. How do we extend our brain? How do we, by creating a thumb drive for the brain? Well, it's called a notebook. So I got a very specific format with my notebook. That what works for me. 90% work for all my customers. First one, that's the log. All the ideas should go there and your daily plan. Each page, a day. You can split that page into the 3 sections that you saw previously. Brainless, high value task, clear your mind. Remember? Each day I plan it on the notebook. You can plan it on your notebook. I'm doing that on a big paper note because I'm not so mobile. Not all the time, but Oh, sorry. Second, projects. It's like the backlog of your stuff that you want to do. All the things per project, per home, per new office, per trip. Write it down. If you want to know what should happen in order to have a car, boom, open your notebook. That's what should happen in order to have my new home, my trip. Agenda. If you got a business or you're doing a lot of meeting, wow, this is helpful. Per page, per people, per project, I got a page of all the things I want to discuss on the next meeting. Usually people come into meeting, hey, what's up, buddy? Okay, what are you doing now? 1 hour passed. What have we done in that meeting? I don't know. What was the decision? So an agenda is like a plan for the meeting. Make sure that if you're going to a plan, You're going to meet your customer. You're going to have a meeting in your office. What's the agenda? This is where it goes. And the second one is the list. Books I like to read, places I like to visit, movies I like to watch, foods I like to eat, restaurants I want to eat at. Lists. And this is how it looks like. Each tab is a project or an agenda or whatever. You want to go on screen? OneNote. Best tool in the world, from my perspective, to have a digital notebook. You got tabs, you got search, you got whatever. OneNote is OneNote, yeah. Microsoft OneNote, wow, the best. If you want to go digital. Sleep enough. How many hours do you sleep? 8.
Depends.
4. Whoa. That's all right. When do you go to sleep?
It depends.
Depends. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. The morning? I mean, what?
You're raving?
AM. Oh wow.
Parties?
Yeah, you know. I usually wake up before the sun. I want to wake up the sun.
I usually go to sleep before the sun.
I'll explain you later, but make sure you get enough sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, your day is going to be crazy. Trust me, I've been there. I was young. Why raising early? Before the sun. Because this is where you create a time machine. If you raise up before anybody else, you can answer emails, plan ahead, see what's important, less noise, less WhatsApp, less everything. So everybody comes to the office at 8, maybe 9, right? 6, sharp, boom, be the office. If you can, start planning the day. You'll be ahead of everybody. You'll get quiet, enough space to plan, and then start rolling out. So usually science proves everything, and you know there's been so many research about how many people which are successful rise early. Get another tip, you're gonna like it. Have a live plant at the desk. A live one, not plastic. Very simple plant, 20 shekels. Put it in your desk. The color green has so much positive impact of how we think. This is why my brand is green. Green has so much positive impact on your mind. So just have a live plant. Don't forget to water the plant and your checklist at the end of each week. So, it's been a long road. I got some time for questions as I promised, but I want you to remember that your dreams are the blueprint of your future. Take action. Do something that will make those dreams happen. So, before you start something, always ask yourself, what is the next step? I got a problem. What's the next step? I want to do something. What's the next step? This is a question you have to ask yourself each time you want to plan. And lastly, again, if you want to download Yair email, go to the link. You can download a PDF with very important, I would say useful information. You've made it.
Yeah.
Made it to the end. Alrighty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So I'll be open to question now. Let's start with this guy.
Thank you. Do you ever get in the trap of planning too much or replanning too much and losing the time that you're supposed to be acting or
Yeah.
performing because many things happen during the planning or
Yeah.
happens as planned.
Look, I think that 45 to 30 minutes a day of daily planning, that's enough. I mean, you know, like writing all the things you want to do today, 30 minutes, that's enough. 45 minutes, just, you know, looking at email, decide what's important. 45 minutes, that's stop. If it happens, you know, if it takes you too long, that's a process. That's like a muscle you have to train. Eventually, you'll learn what's important in your daily ritual or your morning ritual, the checklist that you're doing each day. But no, I think that eventually, as I progress in time management, there's no too much planning. There's too much detail in planning. Yep.
Can you explain again how you get from this daily activity to a weekly but looking forward?
Yeah. Yeah. So I take all the pages.
But what is all the pages if I'm, let's say it's Sunday and I'm planning my Monday? So which?
Oh, I'm planning the whole week ahead. So by Saturday, okay, I'm taking the pages, printing 7 pages out of those.
From last week or fresh
No,
ones?
for the fresh pages. Just roll them on the desk and start thinking. Oh, Friday I want to do this one. Thursday, yeah, this one and this one, this one, and I fill it up. I get a picture of what I'm gonna do, and at the top I got how many half an hours I got, because I'm looking at my calendar, you know, subtracting all the meeting and traveling I have, and that's the time you have. And you say, oh, Thursday is quite, you know, quite easy. I got about 12 hours of work. Boom, I'll do that then. And then I'll take all the pages, stack them up, and you got a plan. It takes about, you know, it's not easy. It takes about 2 hours to do that, maybe half, you know, an hour and a half, but it's worth the time. If you can't do a whole week, start with 2 days. You know, start in small steps, baby steps. Doesn't work for you for the whole day? Okay, 2 days, much better than nothing. I mean, would you ever consider driving to, let's say, Eilat without a GPS? Probably, you might.
No, people used to do it all the time. Why do you need
Oh,
a GPS?
okay, that's not fair.
Why do you need,
Okay, let's say to.
GPS to Eilat? You just have to go straight.
Oh, straight ahead. Okay, bad example. But you know, usually when you start to drive to a location which you don't know, you start with Waze. Usually, that's what I do because I want to get rid of the traffic. Yes.
How do you plan for uncertainty that can come up during the day? So if you make your daily plan and you've got pretty much all your hours or every half hour planned out, but then things that come up that are high priority or things that you just can't plan for, bosses that give you things that need to be done or like an opportunity that comes up with a client or whatever, how do you fit that in when you're planning so much?
This is why I got my task list written. So it's like, let's take the supermarket. You go into the supermarket, you got a grocery list, you buy this one, but you didn't find those 3 items. This is the task you haven't managed to do, right? What do? You call your wife or your husband, can you buy this one? Maybe you'll drive by the yellow to buy it on another location, maybe it will be left for the next grocery shopping. So the same, if you have a plan, by the end of the day, you know what you haven't finished, you can do it the next day. But if you want it, well, it really depends on how you prioritize, right?
So it depends also on the other person. If you're working with someone who's not
Set
organized.
expectation. Due dates. I mean, tell them, you know, I'm going to do this one by this time, by this date, and then you have to manage. You know, I've worked with so many people and clients who are not organized. Eventually, you'll get organized. It's a muscle. It's a skill you have to develop. Yes?
If I may extend on that question. So if you do a weekly plan,
Yeah.
and let's say Monday arrives and at the end of the day there's 2 tasks that you haven't managed to check, or your checklist, or how do you deal with them? What do you do with them? Do you keep pushing them day by day until they happen? Do you push other tasks?
Are you
forward?
talking about the task you planned for Monday, or you started to work on Sunday and haven't finished that by the end of the week? Or you plan to do it on Thursday, but you haven't reached to that task because too many things queued up on your paper?
A second example is
Okay.
I mean, both. I'm curious about both.
Yeah.
Come on, both.
You remember the questions I taught you? The 6 questions, how to set priorities? Learn them by heart. You'll be able to adapt and select what is important.
So something goes away eventually. from
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I can do anything. Trust me, guys. My backlog, my notebook is filled with so many things I want to do. I can't do everything. I have to pick the diamonds out of the pile of stones. I have to pick what's value for me. What's the return of with the investment that I would had from this action, from these tasks. And again, you can't do everything. Trust me. Apple, Samsung, Google, they have so many ideas. They don't do it in 1 year. It's evolving. Next version. Okay, maybe you can start small. Maybe a small version of the document, a small version of whatever you're trying to do, of a product, of a software, or something, and then evolve, improve that in time. Perfection is the enemy of good. Yep.
How do you balance